Greetings, Rigil Agateides here, and it's Boxing Day, so what's better than giving and unwrapping Christmas gifts? We got a lot of them and some especially heartwarming ones. This is the 500 cost support type packed with all the Christmas gifts to give, the Zssa. Weird name. Another one of those suits with a million weapons. What it carries can rival Zssanta Claus' sleigh, and it does look like one. The main weapon is a standard beam rifle, but what everyone remembers is the missiles. 28 of such missiles in one reload. You can stagger multiple people at once while using thrusters if you're good at hitting them. Or do you fancy our heartwarming version of these missiles instead? With 6 shots, these incendiary missiles can't be fired on thrusters, but they do around 200 damage a tick, adding up to 2000 damage. Quite potent if you ask me. And we're not done yet. The last missile type on the Zssa is what they call the takoyaki. Continuously exploding in a small area, they stagger really hard and stays there. Drop the takoyaki on our outnumbered teammate and the enemies are staggered one by one. Now, are you ready for some Holy Spirit? "30 missiles with his ankles as the recipient. He just melted to how wonderful our gift was. That's both enemies dealt with quickly, time to help the other teammate who had been pinging the entire time. This exposes a problem with the Zssa. You can't really shoot that far. You don't have a single weapon that can reach 450 meters, and only the beam rifle and 28-shot missiles can reach over 300. But at least on Arctic base that isn't as big of a problem. TR5 dashing straight into our teammate under our watch. Very unwise. 28 missiles puts him straight onto the Arctic Express. Those missiles are very hard to hit, but if you hit someone standing still or someone that's very predictable, with a full volley we're talking about 7000 base damage. Time for the second wave. Enemy team decides not to wait for the TR5, that will be your mistake. Our time to send them all our Christmas gifts once again. Starting with the incendiary to give time for the turkey to cook. Sadly the range is too short. TR5 fresh respawn and dashes straight at us. Don't know why he thinks that's a good idea, but he was saved from the shuttle explosion. Lucky. Takoyaki doing a tremendous damage here, staggering the powered gym twice in a row. The beam rifle also hit for 3000 damage before we get knocked over. While the range is short, this Zssa is absolutely overloaded with damage. Enemy managed a counter, but that forces him to stand still, and we drop the takoyaki on his feet. We'll follow that up with the beam rifle and a missile barrage. Someone decided to add more to our gifts, isn't that lovely? Finally used all our missiles too quickly and we have to wait for a reload. The final 2 takoyaki found their way on somebody surprisingly. Just a bit more and the incendiaries are ready again. Fire them one by one trying to hit both enemies, but with such a low speed we only managed to put 1 turkey in the oven. Arctic base is a map about turning in circles. While we're on the high ground we have to take left-hand shots, which is honestly worse. Jam roof in from above! Thankfully hiding under the ledge worked. Jump up with the weapon we haven't used yet, but landing too early prevented us from firing mid-air. This is the spread beam cannon, and this is what it looks like with a full hit. That with a beam rifle took 6000 off the TR5 in a split second. I should add that the spread beam can be fired while using thrusters like a dom as well. Back to our gift-giving business, incendiary and takoyaki on the badly positioned TR5, and he goes down again. That's a oh no, that's a gazelle! That's the rate type and it's painted blue. If we get hit by his charge attack, we're definitely screwed. We're lucky we spotted him early, so he's forced to find someone else or get tackled. End of the wave, time to get repairing. Repaired up to 2/3. Time to talk about things, not the weapons. The Zssa is a support type, has all your standard support type skills. Observation data link and forced injectors. You also have damage control, which is nice to have. But the one that stands out on the Zssa is the ground compatibility. With that, the mobility of the Zssa is comparable to general types at 500 cost. That and the endless barrage of missiles make it extremely hard for rate types to catch, as it can easily stop maneuver armor with the missiles while escaping with thrusters on. You can't expect to be unstoppable like a Zoc though, as you can still be easily staggered by anything that doesn't accumulate. Any normal stagger can get you stuck hard, so always move with a teammate, so they can save it like this one. Turn around for the spread beam cannon, but unfortunately gets absorbed by the shield. No one else to put into the oven before we deliver the mark to some holy spirit, the missile barrage it is. Another general type, this time the gym free powered. Set him on fire and then takoyaki to keep him staggered. One more beam shot and yeah, he's very dead. The firepower on this Zssa is simply superior. I should mention, our custom part setup is also tuned to maximize ranged damage, but that actually isn't a lot because we have the most unbalanced part slots ever. We're supposed to max out reload parts, but we don't really need them, so I chose beam and melee defense instead. That's 20 mid-range slots and we still had leftovers. Enemies all spawned downstairs, we'll enjoy our time throwing gifts from above. The Zssa really shines when it comes to dealing damage to groups of enemies in a tight space, as it makes the missiles really easy to hit. The area damage the takoyaki does also can be maximized that way. Spread the missiles but accidentally fell because I'm bad at using hover machines, keep throwing things regardless, and then the takoyaki as well. Doesn't really matter what order we throw them and how we throw them, as long as we fire at the group we're going to hit something, and hit hard. Missiles, let's go! Spread them wide to hit everyone. Ah, that's someone on our side. Respawning in the last 10 seconds, just here to unwrap as many gifts as we can. Turkey Maker and then Thruster Missiles. Ouch, we get knocked over, but it's fine as someone else is sending more gifts in our place. A good match on the Zssa. Mostly lucky because we never got caught out. With that, we were free to use all the firepower this Santa's sleigh could carry, doing 120,000 damage with plenty of staggers. A great suit if your teammates know what they're doing, and great at giving gifts at Christmas. That's it from me today. Happy holidays.